The perpetual deaths of these Greek life students at or around the University of Idaho are not a coincidence. There's been many conflicting statements regarding the Idaho murder case, and many people close to the victims who are involved in narcotics. One question I want you to think about is Greek life sacrificing these students? I hope this video will help you understand why I would raise a question like this. Hey guys, I had no idea my personal information was so available to everyone on the internet. I mean, even my address was exposed online. Have you ever Googled yourself and been so shocked to see all of your personal information exposed on one of those public listing sites? For example, if you search your name right now on Google, you'll be surprised by what personal information is exposed. I did this with myself and found my address, my family members, and even my bank account. I started to think, hey, maybe that's why I get those 1-800 callers asking me if my car warranty expired. I felt so unsafe and vulnerable, and I started to think about ways to secure my information. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's video sponsor, Aura. Casper, what's Aura? Aura is an identity protection service. They'll scour the internet for all of your information that is made public and delete it for you. I get emails from Aura saying, hey, somebody was looking for your name, or somebody was looking for your social security number. Would you like us to delete it? Absolutely, I would. You can try Aura free for 2 weeks using my link on the screen. Aura also does so much more to protect you and your family from online threats that you cannot see. It's super easy to set up, so you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and many more. You get everything at one affordable price. One feature that I really love about Aura is their parental controls and safe gaming. I have younger relatives who always ask me to play a game on my phone or computer. It's simple. I'll just block certain sites that I don't want them to visit, and Aura handles the rest. Aura is also powered by AI, so it has text and voice monitoring to keep your child away from online cyberbullying, online predators, and scams 24/7. You literally have nothing to lose. All you got to do is click the link in my description below, which is aura.com/Casper West. They are going to hook you up with a 2-week free trial. Give it a shot, see if it works. Go find your personal information, check your credit report. Go and protect your family. Get this information wiped off the internet. Again, the link is in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Throughout the millennia of human and religious history, people have sought to appease their gods with the ultimate expression of devotion, sacrifice. What is sacrifice? An act of slaughtering an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to a deity. Many people throughout history may have sacrificed animals, and that makes sense because when most people eat food today, something had to be sacrificed for you to eat. However, oftentimes this ultimate expression has manifested itself in the performance of human sacrifice. Many archaeologists found that many sacrifices were done voluntarily with no signs of a struggle. The Romans, and specifically the Greeks, practiced ritual human sacrifice to a certain degree. Many children were regularly drowned. Many were stabbed in the chest, enthroned over a blood-soaked altar, and were made to suffer extreme torture. Sacrifices that would ultimately have resulted in death included decapitation, cranial trauma, stabbing, strangulation, hanging, and throat slitting. These sort of sacrifices still happens today. Check out this video of a ceremony at a CERN laboratory involving cloaked men stabbing a woman at night.
What the?
If you noticed, these sacrifices always need to be done with a sharp object like a knife that can produce the most blood. Now, how is this related to sororities and fraternities in Idaho? I'll tell you why. In terms of hierarchy, the structure of a Greek organization from the ground up are first the new members, aka the freshmen. They are the ones that need to pledge and enact rituals and oaths to become full members. Next are the active members who have been in the fraternity for many years and have the ability to make important decisions in the organization. Then there's the executive board members who have been elected to hold the leadership position within the sorority. These positions may include vice president, the treasurer, secretary, etc. They are responsible for managing various aspects of the sorority. Next is the chapter advisor. This is an alumni member who provides guidance and support to the sorority chapter. They often have extensive experience within the organization and may even provide mentorship to members. Next is the national/regional officer. This is a member who's been elected to hold a leadership position within the organization. They are responsible for overseeing multiple chapters and ensuring they are in compliance with the organization's policies and procedures. Now, there's one more level on the hierarchy that isn't really talked about at all. At the top of every Greek organization are Greek gods or Greek goddesses. In 2015, an alleged University of Idaho student posted a list of all the Greek gods and goddesses attached to each house. This was all once hidden and secretive at some point, but now it's being revealed. Now you may say, Casper, enough of this mythical crap. They are not sacrificing these kids. Oh yeah? In 2011, Omega Alpha D of Cornell University attempted to sacrifice a pledge, aka a freshman, to their demon god of babes, Molador. Police stated that this isn't the first time they were called for such absurd crimes. The pledger, whose name is Alan Jones, who would have been sacrificed if it had not been for the anonymous tip to the police, was surprisingly disappointed at not being able to complete the sacrifice. He stated, "Man, if I had been sacrificed, I would have been a brother for life. I wouldn't have had to go through Hell Week or do housework, chores, or nothing. Oh well, gotta toughen up for next year." Jones is big, aka senior frat member and would-be fellow brother, Jeff Quartermain, denied responsibility for the attempted sacrifice. He stated, "Yo, you know sometimes the police just don't understand the way that brotherhood works. Plus, it was all Molador's idea. With 2012 and the world ending, he wanted to come out, and that could only happen with a sacrifice. It sucked that it would have had to be my little, but you know, you do what you have to do for the brotherhood." Now, they were referring to sacrifices as some sort of bodily scar, but what was really concerning to me was when Jeff stated it was all Molador's idea. Molador is their god that they worship, which means they understand that their god requires Greek members to do things in the name of their God. Now, why would these college students be scarring their own brothers and sisters in the name of a God they probably never heard of until they joined the organization? Now, Jeff had no comment about the current investigations that are looking into the private lives of alumni from their chapter of Omega Alpha D, who all mysteriously received elite jobs after graduation and happened to be ridiculously successful. Now, if you're still not convinced, watch these chants that were performed by these sorority sisters. Now, if you notice their hands when they were clapping, they were always in this position. Dated back to 2000 BC, that was a sign of a ritual they used to honor their goddess, Hathor. As you can see, they were also on their knees while clapping in the same exact way. Do these college kids know exactly what they're getting themselves into? On the surface, if you watched movies like Neighbors, Life of the Party, The House Bunny, sororities seem full of parties, promiscuity, and fun. However, why is there an ultimate guarantee after joining for success and connections? We see many times when celebrities give into some sort of demonic entity, they are rewarded. I don't think that's a coincidence. The dark side of joining Greek life is that there needs to be a sacrifice for these rewards. How many stories do we have to see before we understand that there may be a bigger picture behind these deaths? Now, specifically in the Idaho case, Madison, Xana, and Bethany were part of the Pi Beta Phi fraternity, whose head is Eos, the goddess of dawn. She is the only goddess I saw to have a pair of wings. If you look at their pictures, they are represented as angels. Kaylee was a part of the Alpha Phi fraternity, whose head is Aphrodite, the goddess of love. You see them here representing their goddess. According to Greek mythology, Aphrodite was depicted as a beautiful woman and dealt with matters of the heart all the time. And last but not least, Ethan was a part of the fraternity Sigma Chi, which represents the goddess Nike. If you look closely, the wings are the same as the swoosh on the Nike shoes. Today, the imagery of the goddess Nike and her name live on. Obviously, there's the sportswear brand named after Nike, but also many statues of Nike in her Roman guise of Victoria are still visible today. What's really going on inside of these sororities? And why are they so secretive? When things are good, they celebrate it. And when a death occurs, they rarely cover the story or will be quick to rule it a self-inflicted or accidental demise. I started to think, if Maddie and Kaylee were best friends, why weren't they inside of the same sorority? If you look at each of their sororities, tell me what you think. This is Madison's sorority and this is Kaylee's sorority. Did you notice the difference in the beauty, quality, and standard of the Alpha Phi members over the Pi Beta Phi members? Could it be that since Alpha Phi's whole focus is on beauty and sexual desire, that they possibly only found Kaylee worthy to join? Which makes you think, were they all really true friends in that house? Or was there some sort of secret envy? If you watch my last videos, I broke down the way these girls are taught to treat each other in these sororities. They are harsh and brutal when it comes to other girls who they deem as not being attractive enough to join. This is all theory, and I know soon the truth will come to light. Now, in the case of Kaden Young, he was a University of Idaho student who was allegedly hanging out with a Moscow, Idaho girl named Emma and a 36-year-old Tacoma man named Demetrius. While in Washington on March 16th during the University of Idaho break, Young traveled to Seattle to spend time with Emma and Demetrius. On March 20th, the hotel manager told police she received a call from a woman asking the manager to call 911. The manager and a maintenance worker went up to the room to find Young lying unconscious, vomiting, and blue in color. At 2:23 p.m., Young was taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where medical staff treated him for a fentanyl overdose. The hospital released him at about 2 a.m. on March 21st, when his friend Demetrius picked him up. Young fell asleep multiple times on the drive back to the apartment and was so out of it that Demetrius had to guide him because he could not keep his eyes open. At about 8:39 a.m., Demetrius allegedly woke up and found Young unresponsive again. Emma and Demetrius allegedly attempted CPR before calling 911 at about 9:07 a.m. to report that Young was unconscious and not breathing. Time is very important when an unconscious person is not breathing. Permanent brain damage begins after only 4 minutes without oxygen, and death can occur as soon as 4 to 6 minutes later. So why would it take them 27 minutes to call 911? After first responders arrived at the scene, they found Young unresponsive and pronounced dead. A preliminary analysis of Young's urine later found that he had fentanyl, benzos, marijuana, cocaine, and alcohol in his system. Benzos. If you watched my last video, I called it that benzos, aka Xans, were being pushed throughout that area. Is it possible that those same drugs were around the same home where the 4 Idaho murders occurred? Police stated that they believed the woman who provided drugs to Young in Seattle was a safety concern because she was actively trafficking in cocaine that was laced with fentanyl. Why did they allegedly wait 27 minutes to call the police? If he was okay when released from the hospital, how did he end up dead that same morning? What's really going on with these University of Idaho students? Sadly, another life was lost, which proves this video's point. Young was a former president of the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity. I believe that there's something sinister going on in Greek life. Now you may be asking me, Casper, what about Brian Koberger? Exactly. What about him? We are already seeing piles of evidence that can prove he can be found not guilty in this case. Does that mean the real killer is still out there? If so, who could it be? Stay tuned because I will cover that in my next video. I hope everyone wakes up and see what's really going on as I explain in this video. I wish you all well. Until next time, please check out the link in my description as well. Don't forget to sign up. Peace.